What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video. And guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up on your YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because I release great content every day that you don't want to miss. And guys, today I'm going to be reviewing You're the Villain, Arison #4. It's the finale to this 4-part story arc. And guys, this whole story arc is pretty much been like a transition from the Justice League series and the new Dark Knight's Death Metal series that I'm super excited for. So the last 3 parts have just been all set up, alright? It actually has. Like, yeah, Lex Luthor has fought off the Infected in issue #2. That's my favorite issue of all of them, even after this issue too, because it was just action-packed. The art looked good. We had Joker come onto the scene. It was just a great issue. Now, issue #3 is the weakest, but it's just been a lot of setup for like the battle between the Batman Who Laughs and Lex Luthor. And finally we're here, alright? So with this final issue, it starts out with Lex Luthor. It goes to the past like a week or two. Well, no, I think it was like a couple days when Lex Luthor recruited Mercy Graves again. And he's telling her, hey, when I saw like a future where I was like a ruler, I was actually supreme. And remember guys, in Justice League #5, which is way back, like that was in 2018. Well, that's like 2 years, that's not way back. But still, pretty much, in issue #5, it was like the first Legion of Doom arc. It showed Lex Luthor go to the future, and he saw pretty much he was like supreme leader. He was doing really good, and if he actually carried out Perpetua's plans, that would be him. So he's telling Mercy Graves, if I could keep this going, remove the Batman Who Laughs, and keep being a servant to Perpetua, and keep my wealth, keep my mind, and not become like a full-on servant, then I'll have what I've always wanted. I'll be supreme. And Mercy Graves is like, hey, you should probably be careful with the Batman Who Laughs, he'll get your way. And Lex Luthor's like, well, he's already lost. So then we fast forward to like Lex Luthor and Batman Who Laughs finally fighting. We see the villains versus the heroes, and the heroes aren't really heroes, they're infected. Like, we have infected Supergirl back, we have infected Commissioner Gordon, like, they're evil. So the villains are fighting out them, and guys, the villains like Captain Cold, Solomon Grundy, and like Black Manta, that's all they do in this issue. They have no dialogue whatsoever, alright? All they do is fight off the infected and stall, that's it. So that was kind of disappointing, because I wanted to see them interact, and maybe have Captain Cold say a line, something like that. But all it was for them to distract like the infected while Lex Luthor fights off the Batman Who Laughs. Which that's good and all, it works for the story, but it's kind of disappointing to bring these villains in and crap, like Black Manta doesn't even really get a panel. Like, yeah, he's in that double page spread in the beginning, but that's about it. But guys, Lex Luthor Batman Who Laughs fight, and it's not really an awesome fight. Like, Lex Luthor takes him down, pretty much. Like, he pretty much acts like Batman Who Laughs is not planned for this. Batman Who Laughs does bring Supergirl, and like puts fire around Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor has Martian Manhunter's genes, so that's like a weakness. So that was cool. But then after that, he just takes off his helmet, Lex Luthor beats him, the infected, then like they turn uninfected, and the heroes are back. So now it's just Batman Who Laughs against the world. And Lex Luthor even says that himself. But that's when Lex Luthor takes Batman Who Laughs to Perpetua. And guys, before that we had this whole thing like the heroes are now going after Lex Luthor, and Mercy Graves like, guys, he pretty much just saved you. Which in that thing, the heroes are just acting stupid, like Supergirl, like come on. Lex Luthor wasn't the villain, it was Batman Who Laughs. But guys, the most interesting part is when we meet Perpetua again. Like this whole fight with the Batman Who Laughs, Lex Luthor, it was okay in this issue, but it was kind of underwhelming because like the Batman Who Laughs, he just wasn't as like calculating. There wasn't a lot of like fight between him and Lex Luthor. It's just more Lex Luthor pretty much like pulling things up his sleeve, like, hey, I could do this, and then just beating him. Like, there's only one part that the Batman Who Laughs had like the upper hand, and that was when he like had Supergirl put like fire around Lex Luthor. And that wasn't really a bad thing for Lex Luthor at all. But guys, when we get to Perpetua, that's when it gets good, alright? Because then we see Batman Who Laughs pretty much like convince her that, hey, you're a servant, yeah, he's been doing good for you, but he actually he doesn't know all the stuff that I know. I'm a child of the dark multiverse, so I can see stuff from far away, I can see his hidden stuff, and he's like, I kidnapped the Phantom Stranger, which we saw in issue #2, and guys, like I said, in my review of like the series so far, you can check out the top right corner right here, I said that, hey, this is probably going to be important in Death Metal, but it's actually pretty important in this issue, the final issue of the series. And he says, I talked to Phantom Stranger, and I pretty much convinced him to tell me where the Justice League went. And guys, remember in the final issue of Scott Snyder's Justice League run, they pretty much went through like a door, and now they're going to get stronger, come back, and beat Lex Luthor and Perpetua. So Perpetua's kind of mad about this. She's like, what? You didn't know this? And Lex Luthor's like, hey, I've always helped you out. And he's pretty much telling you, you can't be convinced by Bound to Last and have him replace me. And Perpetua's like, you don't talk to me like that. And she takes away his powers, guys. Takes away his powers, and he's just vulnerable. And Bound to Last is just like laughing the whole time. He's like, I got this. So one part that's kind of weird though is Lex Luthor saying like, hey, I have my mind. I'm like, okay, I get that. You're smart and stuff. But then he runs at Perpetua naked. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do to her now that you couldn't do anything before? Like when he was Apex Lex, he couldn't beat her. So you think you can beat her now that you're naked and you don't have any tools around you? But still, you have Lex, he runs, then gets sent out of the portal. Mercy Graves gets sent out there too, back to Earth. And Bound to Last then convinces Perpetua to now pretty much go by his plans. Like, yeah, she may be still trying to carry out her plans, but she's now kind of infected. Like, yeah, Bound to Last has infected her, but now, like, pretty much Perpetua has come Barbados again, but super powerful, like times 10, which is pretty crazy, right? And I'm excited for Death Metal because the Justice League are going to come back different, stronger, and they may have to work with Lex Luthor a little bit. Because Lex Luthor was wrong this entire time, and that's something rare for him. But at the end, on the final page, we see Lex Luthor and Mercy Graves, and pretty much she's like, hey, what are we going to do? And Lex Luthor's like, we can't do anything. We're all dead now. And it says, next, Death Metal. And I'm excited for that, right? Like, yeah, this issue, like the whole fight and stuff that we've been looking forward to the past 3 issues, wasn't as great, but the conclusion was at least solid, alright? Like, 'cause I honestly thought that, yeah, Bound to Last would win, but I thought we'd just beat the crap out of Lex Luthor. They'd have like a calculated match, and Bound to Last would win, and pretty much bring Lex Luthor to Perpetua and do like the opposite. But it worked out differently. Like, it went against my expectations, and now it's good and bad. But guys, the art in this issue, it was solid. Like, it's kind of been like the same art throughout. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like George Jimenez or Tony S. Daniel level, or like, it wasn't like the greatest art. But at least I'll say this, throughout this entire series, this 4-part series, the art in this series has been like pretty much consistent. Like, you can't say that about other series. Like, for example, Batman right now. You have George Jimenez, Tony S. Daniel, another writer in this new issue. It's been back and forth. Oh, Villian March, I think I pronounced that right. But still, different artists, and it throws off the tone of the book. But with this story, yeah, there's maybe been like replacement artists, but I haven't seen it, right? Like, if they have replaced artists, it's been like kind of like the same type of art. Like, they have this like the same style, which is good, because it keeps up the tone of this comic of like that doom and gloom and Lex Luthor versus Bound to Last, and that's perfect for the story. And I hope Dark Knight's Death Metal has that too, because something I loved about Dark Knight's Metal was that they had Greg Capullo throughout the entire series. Like, yeah, Batman Lost and Hawkman Found had like different artists, like the tie-ins did, but the solid series, the 6-part series, had the same art throughout. And when you read again, it's an epic experience, and I'm hoping to have that same experience with Dark Knight's Death Metal. But guys, overall, I'm gonna give this issue a 7.8 out of 10. It was solid. It was one of my favorite of this entire series. It is, but I still put issue number 2 a little above, because I did like issue number 2 a lot, mainly because of the action and just how Lex Luthor like calculate every move against the infected. Like, yeah, you could say he did that to the Bound to Last, but that's in a disappointing way in this issue, because I expect a lot more from the Bound to Last, but then by the end, he carries through. So, yeah, I like the second half of this book more than the first half. Like, of this issue, I mean. Issue number 4, I like the second half better than the first half. But guys, overall, this is a series you should check out, but if you skip, it won't have any consequences, alright? You can honestly go from Justice League series to Dark Knight's Death Metal, you won't really miss a lot. You guys, in the comment section below, tell me what you thought about this series and this issue. Overall, did you like it? Did you like the whole Lex Luthor and Bound to Last rivalry? Do you think it carried through pretty good? And how you think Dark Knight's Death Metal will be? Like, how you think we'll start the story, and how you think what will happen to Bound to Last and Perpetua, and what will happen to Lex Luthor, because he's pretty much powerless now, and he's stuck on Earth, which is about to get pretty much, in a way, destroyed and taken over by the Dark Multiverse again. But guys, If you like this video, give a big thumbs up. And howdy up, bro. Subscribe to my channel because I do this great cheese content every day that you don't want to miss. And yeah, guys, that's the video. Peace out.